Hello, boys and girls. It's your old pal Bobby Pickles, a.k.a. Robert Picklesheimer Esquire, a.k.a. Bobby Shirtmacher, a.k.a. Don Roberto Vicente. And that's what I'll go by on this nuevo episodio de Bobby Pickles Podcast. I got some members of the Latinx community in the SweatShop, a bunch of Cuban Proud Boys, mi amigos Gilbert, Gabe, and Adolfo. Please forgive me for not including Adolfo's subtitles. It's up to you to figure out what he's saying. Also, forgive me for comparing the Cuban-American experience to the Italian-Americans. It's not like Al Pacino played Scarface or anything. Bienvenido al podcast de Bobby Pickles. Alright, fellas, look at this. We got all these Cubans here, these Cuban Proud Boys. Came up from Miami. You're sitting here at the SweatShop with me, and we're doing this podcast. Yeah, man, let's speak in English, all right? Because, honestly, I'm not going to be able to understand you whether you're speaking English or Spanish.
I know.
Because
him, it doesn't matter.
I
got my Feeling Cuban shirt on.
Where's the cafecito?
We brought our interpreter just for this guy right here.
All right, so we got
Gilbert Fontecoba.
in the house.
Yes, sir. Adolfo Dominguez representing.
That's right.
Gabriel Garcia, a.k.a. the captain.
Nice. And all you guys are Proud Boys. You're all from the same chapter as me, Vice City.
Correct.
We're in a 3-county chapter, basically. I think that
Palm
we're
Beach,
expanding a little bit.
Broward,
Yes.
and Miami-Dade.
That's right. And this is what you get. This is what you get, really. When you see our chapter, this is what you get. You get a lot of Hispanic people,
Correct.
a lot of Latins. But let me ask you a question. So would you say you guys, like, because you guys are all Latins, therefore that proves that we're not, whatever, racist?
I would think so, because it's obviously that we're not white, we're Hispanic. Our chairman is a black Afro-Cuban, and they still want to label us white supremacists, neo-Nazis, etc., you know? And I'll share a quick story. On Sunday, we had the Trump caravan. Obviously, we were part of it, and we had cross path with the Biden people. And I try to, engage with them, find out why Cubans, because to me, being Cuban and supporting the Democrats of today is an insult for my family and Cuba, because Cuba became a socialist country, and that's all the Democrats' policies are pushing towards us becoming a socialist, full-blown socialist country. So I tried to walk up to the lady and engage with her, and I had my Proud Boys Did Nothing Wrong shirt, and she goes, "Oh, I know a Spanish lady, a Cuban lady." She accused me, and obviously you could tell I'm Cuban, I'm Latin. I'm American, born here. My family's Cuban. That we're white supremacists, and I'm like, seriously, lady, And that's how far and brainwashed these people are. And it wasn't a young millennial; it was an older lady, older than me, and she believes that we're white supremacists.
Here's your question: what is white? Like, look at me. All right, look at me and Gabriel. I mean, we're not that.
Yeah, no. Let's define white here.
Don't compare to me, because I'm definitely white.
I'm definitely tanner than Adolfo.
I'm the white devil.
All right, if we're looking at
he's Puerto Rican.
all four of us on a scale, all right, it's probably Gilberto, Gabe, me, and then Adolfo, right? What is white, though? Because, when you say Hispanic means you speak Spanish. Correct? And,
anybody can speak Spanish, so,
anybody can speak Spanish. Anybody. So white people can be Spanish, can be Hispanic, right? I mean, all it is, my girlfriend, Katia, she's from Costa Rica. She's very light-skinned. What is white? It's just so weird. You know what I'm saying?
I don't believe in that. I believe that we're all Americans. I don't see colors, because even in our brotherhood, the last podcast you had, or at least one of the last ones I caught, you had Jermaine in, and Jermaine happens to be a black African American, or an American black, because we're all American, like I said, and I just don't understand why they keep labeling us white supremacists when we're out there. We got brothers all across the country that have come out from different cultures, black, Latinos, we have Asians, and I just don't understand, why we're continue to be.
But would you say Cubans are just like white people that speak Spanish? Look, obviously, let me pull that back a little bit.
Yeah,
obviously Enrique has African in him as well. Okay,
correct.
But I mean, a lot of Cubans. Would you say?
I'm gonna say, from my side of the family, I don't have the African side, because there was Africans that came into Cuba as slaves, as we all know, back in the days. but there's also a lot of Spaniard European influence in Cubans. So
Which is
my grandma.
What's the difference between that and like an Italian person coming over here?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
We're all Americans. We're mixing.
I mean, for me, it's kind of. I mean, I don't know. Maybe where we are white supremacists. We're just tan, a little tan.
Tan supremacists, I guess.
My
tan
family,
supremacists.
My family went from Spain to Cuba, and then they escaped communism and they went to Puerto Rico. So it's the same. We're Hispanics. That's what.
And Adolfo, do you have African American in your bloodline?
No, I haven't done the one of those DNA tests, but my cousin did it, and he found out, and he's whiter than me. He has blue eyes and blonde hair, and they found that he has a 1% Native American.
Oh,
interesting.
Like a 1%. So he's more Native American than Pocahontas.
There we go.
Lisa Warren.
Oh man, yeah.
do you know what I'm saying? It's weird, like the Italian experience, right? The Italian American experience. We came over here, and I feel like I call it like the greatest white lie ever told. Mm-hmm. They basically came over here a lot, especially Sicilians. Talk about like they definitely have African in them, and I've seen the DNA. I've seen it in there, you know. And they came over and they're like, okay, we have to be white. All right, let's be white, and let's stop teaching our kids Italian, and let's assimilate into culture. And that's what they did for the most part.
Yeah.
Do you think that the Cuban experience is kind of similar?
Not really, because Miami, there was nothing. So we pretty much made Miami. There was Everglades, and we took it. And we were like, you know what? We'll make it North Cuba. And we brought our own culture. And it's kind of sad, too, because you still have people that come over. And even my grandparents, up to the day they died, they never spoke English. Because in Miami is like one of those places that, I feel is different than the rest of the U.S.
Look, but that happened, too. Italians did the same thing. They had their little Italies. They did the same thing.
New York, yeah.
You know? But I'm just saying, they assimilated. And it's kind of similar, very similar to what I see what the Cubans are doing. You know, they're kind of just coming over here. They're like totally assimilated into American culture.
I will say that the second generation of Cubans, they have assimilated a lot more than the first generations of Cubans that were born here. Yeah. I can say, for example, my family side, I got cousins that, they speak English and Spanish, but their sons, the second generation of them, they speak very bad Spanish. And mostly in English. And also, they love the Cuban food because Cubans, everything they do, they have a family gathering, and it's freaking arroz con frijoles negro.
That means
pork,
white rice and black beans.
Rice and black beans, the pork, the yuca, everything. So they got assimilated to the American culture, but they still have that Cuban thing inside of them. Like, we're Cubans.
Yeah. For example, like us. I mean, I was born here. I'm an American first. My family's Cuban. So when we were coming up here, I told Adolfo, hey, man, we got to find a Cuban spot where we could get some Cuban coffee, get some Cuban food, you know? You think there's a spot up there because he used to live in the area. He goes, yeah. And we told you we stopped at that place, but unfortunately it was closed, you know? So even me, I'd rather eat, I like to eat, man. I like all different type of food, but I'm always going to, rather go towards the Cuban food, because that's what I grew up on, so... but
I mean that's not exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that, I'm just trying to compare Italians and Cubans.
I don't know. Italians, I don't like that comparison.
They still eat their, the pasta and their food.
But Italians tend to eat more pasta, right? You guys Italian, instead of cater to Cuban food like we do, first you guys go towards Italian food, Absolutely. So that's what I was trying to make the comparison.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is a melting pot, man, consisting of all these different cultures. Mm-hmm. We're all part of these cultures, right? And we all come together and we mix. Correct. And then we start a new culture, American culture. But you still have a little remnants of the old culture, right? Spiced in.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
You're always going to keep those. But it's just interesting. The Cuban-American experience is very interesting to me to watch because there's a lot of similarities. I see a lot of the similarities, like in my background, similarities with you guys.
Mm-hmm. It's very similar. People that escape, left their countries behind for a new life, to more have a better life in a better future. It's the same. It's Cubans, Italians. I will even say Latin Americans. Everywhere.
Venezuelans,
like, Venezuelans,
Nicaraguans,
Nicaraguans, everybody. Argentinians.
One thing that I've heard is like there's like a saying. I think you told me this, Adolfo, right? Like you want to see a real American look at a Cuban American or something like that. There's like some kind of.
I'm sorry.
Isn't there some kind of like quote I heard? It's like if you want to see how a real American acts, see a Cuban American.
Probably,
because you guys are like so patriotic.
Oh yeah, Cubans love this
You're
country.
ultra patriotic.
True Cubans.
I served my country, and I will die for this country. I've served 15 years, and I grew up listening to my grandfather. Hey, we could never let this country become what Cuba is. We can't allow socialism in here, especially now that's knocking at our doors with, you got Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and all these crazy lunatics out there. And that's one thing I'll continue to fight, whether I'm wearing the uniform or not to have this pushed in. Yeah, we're not, white supremacy, but we are anti-communism, anti-socialism. We're definitely against all that. And we welcome everyone with open arms. Doesn't matter whether, whatever your race is, your creed, religion, whether you're gay, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely. They always say like this, Trump's doing a dog whistle to his white supremacists or whatever. But do you guys see like a dog whistle that makes you think, oh shit, Democrats are definitely bringing communism to the country? Like, what is it in particular that they say that makes you think back to your family, think back to your grandparents or whatever, and then go, oh shit, that's socialism, that?
I would say when they go for one of the things that impacted me the most, in Cuba, they have acto de repudio. Forgot how to say it in English right now. If you guys can help me. Acto de repudio. It's like shame on you. Bobby
like the wall of shame?
Yeah, like something like that. They go to the politician. Let's say they went to little Marco Rubio's house in Miami. They were planning to do a shame on you, Marco protest in front of his house. In Cuba, if you were against the government, if you are against the Cuban government, they go to your house and they organize a protest in front of your house just because you are against the Cuban government. And I'm against that because I don't care if you're a Democrat, you're a liberal, you're a socialist. I don't gonna like your ideology, but I'm gonna respect for what you think. So that's what I don't like that. I don't like go to your somebody's house and protest in front of him because you think that he's pro-Trump or pro-Republican or pro-conservative values or whatever.
Well, that's like what I heard. They're trying to start a commission for if Trump loses, where they like contact all these people who are like pro-Trump or whatever, and then it's weird. I was just reading about it yesterday. Some kind of commission that they're setting up. I forgot what it's called. It's called like to rehabilitate the country. Yeah. So basically, like anybody who voted for Trump, if Biden wins, we're all going to get a spanking.
Well, listen, man, the way I see it, if Trump loses the election and Biden takes power in January, by March, April, we'll start seeing the beginning of our country turning into Venezuela. Maybe not full blown like the way Venezuela is, but I mean, because obviously we all know that the wheels are already in motion, and that's how they started in Venezuela. They started with taking down these statues, changing names of the streets, and et cetera, et cetera. People didn't care, and all of a sudden, boom! Look what happened. 20 years later, look at that country, what it's going through. And 20 years ago, it was the richest country in South America. So it's mind-boggling. And the same thing happened in Cuba. That's where we're leading to, and I'm scared.
They erase your history.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do here. They're trying to completely wipe out our history. They're not teaching our kids. They're indoctrinating our kids in school, not about America or what America went through.
No civics classes.
Exactly, So they were actually that 1619 project that they were pushing on the kids. Thank God, supposedly Trump signed a law to reverse that and start teaching 1776. But by the time that gets implemented, it's going to be a while now.
Have you guys I don't have kids, but have you guys who have kids? Have you seen?
I've experienced it.
I've experienced
it.
Like what? Can you explain like a little bit? Like what do you experience?
Well, I'll tell you. My kids go to public school, and I remember my daughter last year.
Aguas, by the way.
No,
good.
Anybody?
We're good. I got.
Okay.
One of the things I experienced was the big thing is building the wall, the immigration. So they asked my daughter to do a project. If someone would come over, illegally, what would she do to, embrace them in the school and teach them about American culture, but at the same time, pretty much helping them feel welcome, even though they're illegal. And I pretty much confronted the teacher about it, asked why are they doing this, and they said it was more of a, not to bully kids or feel uncomfortable if they come illegal.
I guess I see that though, because, and I'm just, I know you guys think I'm a liberal or whatever. I'm self-proclaimed, I guess, a little bit.
That don't matter.
But I guess I could just see both sides. I understand, like, okay, they probably do have like a lot of illegals in the school system, right? So they're just trying to make sure that they don't get f***ed with. That's right. No, right?
But that's fine. Here's the thing I don't understand. They're leaving their own country, a lot of these people, to come here and vote for the same ideology from the same countries they're coming out of. So how does that make sense? You're running from it, but now you want to come and try to bring that stuff with you here. It doesn't make sense.
Well, it's not the right thing to teach. Mm-hmm. The right thing would be like, how to like move into a country and do the right thing, right?
Exactly.
Wouldn't that be what you would want to teach? But I guess, yeah, some of those kids might be illegal, so they be like kind of shamed or whatever.
Yeah, no, I understand. I'm not saying go and shame any illegals or nothing. Of course not. I have kids. I want the best for kids. They're the future of this country. But at the same time, let's not be focusing on stuff that's gonna, eat up their brains. And with socialism in our schools now and universities, people say, well, how about the universities? We have socialism everywhere. I disagree. It starts all the way in the bottom. I mean, as first grade and second grade, I got on Facebook and one of the Miami-Dade teacher sites that they built. And if you see the stuff I see there every day, it's like, my God, how are these people even teaching?
Well, like, at least we're seeing that though.
Yeah,
right?
I snuck into that just to see what these teachers are, and you see them all. Trump should die. I hope he dies with COVID-19. Orange man bad. This and that, trying to push the Marxism and Black Lives Matter into the school system. I'm all about teaching to be against racism, but not to teach that.
I used to date a teacher, and she was like that, total liberal.
Yeah,
that's just like how like so many of them are. It's crazy, man.
Exactly,
but it goes all the way to college. I was totally, God.
In the school system in Miami, they're teaching Chinese culture to black kids. The issue with those black kids, most of them at that school, they are without a father figure. So they present Chinese culture, and they have a father in the house, the whole family in the house, and that's how they are getting to those kids. Like, the Chinese culture is better than our culture, and that's how they're trying to take them into communism right now. And this is to kindergarten, first grade kids, second grade kids, that their brains is like a sponge. They absorb everything. And that's something that we need to start attacking right now. And the way to do it is to our vote, because we have to vote out people that are there in the school boards. Exactly. For good people that we need to put there. Like,
I understand why they have this diversity thing, but then when you take out civics, it's like you just have the diversity thing. Why don't you teach everything? Teach about American culture also, along with all that stuff.
They're removing American history out of the platforms.
What?
The classes. Yeah, they're removing a lot of the American history from the platform of the classes right now. It's insane.
Or even yesterday, we were sitting in that meeting. We had one of the organizations. Do you remember the name for the freedom?
Free... Well, I got their business card here.
So pretty much she was an ex-congresswoman here.
K-12 task force. They are against the sex education at schools.
Early age, of course.
I got my views in conflict there. I don't believe that the school is the one to teach you sex education, but it should reinforce safe sex. But at least when you are 15, 16 years old, that your hormones are all, revolt, all that shit. Sorry. So that's when you need to teach at least some safe sex education. But these people are against, they're about removing everything from, because they're teaching sex education since like 3rd, 4th grade, something like that. And it's not only safe sex. It's LGBTQs, everything, and like it's normal. And for a kid, I don't think it's normal to see that stuff. Nope.
And I'll give you an example. They said they have a chart. Why are they asking preschool students, as early as preschool and kindergarten, do you feel like you're a girl in a boy's body? I mean, that age, come on. That stuff that shouldn't be asked.
I brought this up before. When I was a kid, I got glasses. because I have 20/20 vision, bro. I have like 20/40. I have like the best vision possible, and for some reason, just to like, I don't know, be different, I pretended like my eyes were bad and I got glasses.
Yeah. But look,
well, I mean, that's like ridiculous, right? Why would anybody do
You
that?
dress up as a girl?
Never.
but look, before
I
we get off
transitioned to a person with bad eyesight, though.
before we get off that subject, talking about kids that young. Last week at the town hall that Biden did, a lady got up there and said, "What are you going to do for my daughter or son?" I forgot which one of the two he identifies that as a transgender at 8 years old. Come on, how are you allowing as a parent for your child to identify as the opposite sex at that age? Listen, I have nothing against being gay or anything, but wait till you're an adult and you could, you make your own decisions.
Exactly.
But at 8 years old, how do you allow a kid to do that? That's just like the kid says, "Oh, mom, I want to go jump off this bridge," and you're gonna say, "Oh, okay," you're just gonna let kids do whatever the hell.
Right. Then they're going to replace their hormones and they're going to mess them all up for puberty. They're not going to go through puberty.
Exactly.
They're not going to grow. Their balls aren't going to drop and stuff. Then they're going to decide.
They're going to change their mind.
They're going to change their mind. Then they're going to be.
I want to go to prom now.
I mean, the brain doesn't mature, from what I understand, till you're about 25.
Like 30.
I mean,
I'm still mature.
It's
Sometimes
crazy.
40.
It's just crazy what they're trying to push in this country, and mostly developed under the Obama administration. But this is already was, the wheels were in motion, before Obama, and Obama just, it went on steroids, Again, like I mentioned, we have brothers that are gay. I don't have anything, but I have a problem when Obama signed that law that a transgender, a man that identifies as a woman, could use the same restroom that my daughter uses, I don't want that. I'm not okay with that,
No.
And that is so wrong. And I'm glad that President Trump, as soon as he took office, he was able to reverse that law, But, so many things that Obama did with pushing the same sex marriage, and he lied about it because his first term he said he was against it. Then when he got elected, then he pushed his agenda through because he wasn't going to be his feet weren't going to be held to the fire because he wasn't going to go up for election again. And man, it's
Baby steps.
Exactly.
Baby steps.
There's an interview of an ex-KGB agent.
Oh, I know.
Yuri Bezmenov.
We've talked about that before.
Yeah, we talk about it. And
The
normalization of these issues and how the Russians used to infiltrate the American educational system through colleges at that moment back in the 60s, 70s. Now they're in school, preschool, middle school, elementary school, and high schools. It's been going on for the last 60 years. It's showing the results now.
And we are going to be if Biden wins. I don't know what the is going to happen because you have all of these different people that are supposed to tell you, like the media and all these other things.
Yep.
If somebody's being corrupt and but they're all for him. Yep. So he's going to have 4 years of just totally running the country down, doing whatever he wants, being as corrupt as possible, and nobody's going to tell us. No alarm's going to be set off. And then we're going to figure it out when it's too late.
I already know what's going to happen.
And the election's about to be goddamn.
And that's the thing. This will be our last election if the Democrats win, because they're going to do away with the election, and it is going to be a full-blown communism here. Everything is out in the open. They're no longer hiding it. Look at everything that they want to do. They want to get rid of the electoral college, so they want New York and LA to be the ones that decide, who the president is, all liberals, and
they are so insanely stupid, liberals, and it's so hilarious because they're supposed to be the intelligent ones or whatever.
Yeah,
they are so unintelligent. It's so crazy, right?
Exactly.
And they're gonna set that up, and then it's gonna come bite them in the ass.
That's what they don't realize.
Everything switches around. There'll be a time where there'll be more conservatives in cities or something. Then they're gonna be
Look, with this BS of defunding the police, they want to defund the police, but they're the ones that are the first ones that are gonna suffer when there is no police, because what's going to happen to all these people? Look at it already. Every time that they have a little problem, call the police. You got that Alicia Mosset, whatever the hell her name is. Apparently she had a little problem and had to call the cops. Meanwhile, before that, she wanted to defund the police. So that's that's going to come back and bite them in the ass, like you said. They're the first ones that are going to feel the effect, and they don't realize what they want. We can't live with no police, man.
Nope.
We need the police. And we got to cooperate with the police. You don't want to get shot. You don't want to, have a problem with the police. Then obey. They pull you over. You give them your license. You know what they're going to ask you for, and respect them and cooperate with them. You know what I'm saying? And then deal with it in court. I believe as long as you treat them with respect, nothing will happen to you. You will go home that day. But this mentality that they want to be, the badass, and argue back with the police and stuff, that's what you get, when you fight back the police. And this disrespect that they have of the police, that they think that, they could hit them and abuse the cop. This is BS, and this was created under the Obama administration when he set the war against the men in blue, a couple of years ago, So it's disgusting where we're living.
Now, do you think there's anything to police brutality, though?
Oh, of course. Look, there's bad. I'm not going to deny that there's bad apples, man. There's bad apples in everything, But they blow it up more than what it really is, And I mean, not to sound like a conspiracy theorist, man, but that thing with George Floyd, there's a lot of, red flags in that one, man, because you got to consider something. Joe Biden a few days before had said, if you ain't voting for me, you ain't black. And then that stuff happens with George Floyd a few days later to get the noise off of Biden. I mean, I don't know, man. It's weird, man. It's very weird to me the way everything went down. It was like too organized, like the riots and everything happening, and them dropping pallets of bricks and caches of weapons for Antifa and Black Lives Matter.
The U-Haul.
The U-Haul trucks, all that stuff. I feel like all this has been organized as a plan, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not denying that there is police brutality because, yes, sometimes, you have, like I said, you have bad apples. You got, you got to look at the glass half empty. Maybe you have that police officer that day he woke up, got into a fight with his wife or whatever, had a problem at work. And then he's, feeling angry, a little bit abusive and stuff like that. And you happen to cross paths with him, and things go wrong, I'm not saying it's right, but you got to think about it too,
Human beings.
Exactly.
Human beings are fallible.
Yeah. But then you take the case again with George Floyd, I forgot the guy's name, the one that put the knee on his neck. The guy had been reprimanded like 18 times. That guy should have never been a police officer. You know what I'm saying? So, that's another thing. 18 times. Why is that guy still in the force? Is he part of their agenda? We'll probably never hear from that guy again because now he's out on bail. We'll never hear that name again, I don't know, man. It's just like I said, to me, it doesn't match up, man. I've seen too many things in this country, too many setups that I just wonder sometimes, that they're pushing the agenda, like all these shootings. Every time that they do these shootings, they go and they tweak our constitution, like, for example, Parkland, what happened here a couple of years ago, how they went back and amended, they did an amendment to the Second Amendment here in the state of Florida where they...
The red flag laws?
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember.
The red flag, and they increased the
age limit. So, for example, my son now at 18, when he turns 18 this year, he can no longer buy a rifle like he would have before the Parkland shooting. Yeah. And that's what people don't realize. That little by little, they're tweaking our Constitution. And before you know it, we ain't going to have nothing left. Because the way I see it is, and I explained that a lot when he was running for office, and I would talk to constituents, that you start messing with our Constitution is like pulling a string off of a shirt. You start pulling, before you know it, that shirt's just going to completely fall apart. And I believe that that's what they're doing with our Constitution, just by all these little tweaks and stuff like that. I don't believe in that. I think this should be left. America is not perfect, but it's the greatest country in the world. There's nothing better, and lead the way our founding fathers created it, So,
yeah. Would that be like a dog whistle that you notice?
Yes.
Things like that?
Absolutely.
Like you're talking about?
Honestly, bro,
And
I hate to sound ignorant, but I don't even know what the hell the definition of dog whistle
I'm saying, like,
what the hell is
something that you heard, like your grandparents say or whatever, that reminds you of the socialism. Shit like that. That's going on within the country.
The thing about the Constitution is the first thing that Fidel did when he got to power in Cuba was do a new Constitution. The first thing that Chavez did after he got to power in Venezuela, do a new Constitution. The first thing Daniel Ortega did when he got to power in Nicaragua is make a new Constitution. When the Argentinians, the Kirchners, won, they changed the Constitution of Argentina too. So, Lula in Brazil did the same stuff. He changed the Constitution because the Constitution, our Constitution in the United States of America, doesn't let them do all the stuff they want to do. So they have to amend the constitution or just tear it down and do a new constitution. That's the way our founding fathers founded this nation.
They made it more difficult.
Made it more difficult to do a new constitution than other countries. But those other countries, anybody can just go there and, hey, let's tear it down and make a new one. So it's not that easy.
Here, they have to chip away at it.
Exactly.
That's what they have. They have to do a convention of states. And it has to be approved by 3/4 of the states to do a new constitution.
And that's what they've been trying to do. That.
That's why they want to get the most they can of Democrat governors that they can, because that way they have the power to do it, because it's the governor of the state that sends the persons to do the convention of states.
You said you were in the Latin, you were in that caravan.
Correct, on Sunday, yes.
And you see all these caravans happening all over the country.
Correct.
And you see flag wavers. You see all these motherfuckers going to these rallies. What the hell, man? You don't see anybody for Biden. Hardly.
Whoa. I saw 3 cars. What are you talking?
But then you see all the polls, and all the polls say Biden's going to win.
Mm-hmm. Well, for
How
example,
demoralizing is that?
on Sunday, we had a huge caravan. It was huge.
55,000 cars.
Yeah.
By Miami Police Department.
Yes.
Miami-Dade Police Department.
55,000 cars. And yet the local news in Miami said, that Trump had a couple of dozen cars and that the Biden caravan was huge. Meanwhile, the Biden caravan, if it had more than 30 cars, it's too much, you know? You know what? Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say 50 cars, you know? But still, Trump had 55,000 cars, and they said they didn't talk about that. They said he just had a few because they filmed it early in the day when it was the staging, because we had a stage, we had performers out there, you know, and then we took off 55,000 cars, and they don't recognize that. They recognize Biden's caravan.
I mean, you see it all over the place, though. It's happening more and more. It's happening in California, too.
Yes.
Big ass caravans.
Pennsylvania, I think it happened, or something. No, not Pennsylvania. Because I heard it yesterday on the Sean Hannity show.
Voted for Trump.
They were talking about it. Somewhere, one of these northern states, they saw the caravan.
But they I just can't fucking stand it, man. That's why I joined the Proud Boys. This whole resistance movement, that's what made me join, you know? And you guys know, I definitely lean left, you know?
I was telling you,
I do.
Bobby's a liberal.
I do.
You know?
Yeah,
But he was saying, no, Bobby's not a liberal no more.
But I fucking love Trump.
I see Bobby more.
Love Trump.
I see Bobby more as a libertarian.
Yeah.
That's what Adolfo was saying in the car.
Yeah.
You know? But
because I consider myself on some of the issues a
smoke
libertarian.
weed, you know, I don't give a what people do.
If you want to smoke weed, you want to do crack, you want to do whatever the fuck you want.
Whoa.
Hunter Biden?
Disclaimer.
Hunter,
We don't condone that.
I don't condone it, but if you want to do, it's your body, your choice. Let's say it that way. I'm against abortion because I'm against abortion is killing. Point.
Yes.
Point blank. But
me too. I'm Catholic, and I'm 100% against abortion. 150%. I would never do that shit. I would put my kid up for adoption.
On the gay issues, I can tell you, hey, is your ass? You give it to whatever the fuck you want.
That's right. I don't give a f***.
I don't give a fuck. If Gilbert wants to give his ass to Bobby, I don't care.
And listen, trans people, they can do whatever they want, just not as a child.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
A child should not be,
become an adult,
dressing
then
up
do
as
your
a woman,
fucking
you
thing.
know? That's so young.
The tranny reading time with
Exactly. That's
insane, dude. That's
libraries.
insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
However, I mean, you know, like, you guys were asking about the t-shirt outside, the liberal t-shirt, Flush the Turd. I'm actually going to interview that guy tomorrow.
Okay.
His name is Shannon Atkins. Great dude. One of our customers. And he's a drag queen.
Okay.
And he performs and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, I mean, he's a cool guy. I don't give a f***. But yeah, it's the whole thing of like the drag queen going to the story hour with children. What is that about? Why is that being done?
And
because they're trying to confuse our kids, you know, again, with this same-sexual marriage.
Shouldn't even talk about straight sex with them, right?
Kids should not.
No.
Kids should have no f***ing sex talk.
Exactly. You know, that should not be going on, you know? I don't know why that's even being discussed, you know, in schools. It's not right. But again, it's to... You know, another way to be able to destroy this country, you know, I mean, destroy the nuclear family, you know, the man and wife, you know, creating their their family, you know, the way that, you know, God created the world, or however, if you don't believe in God, however the world was created, because I don't care what religion or what world, what country you're from, you know, it's always been.
Do you? You don't care about what religion?
Well,
Now, okay.
I know you brought that up in one of our chats the other day. Go ahead.
I did bring it up.
Yes.
I did bring it up, man. That's the one thing that's kind of got me f***ed up right now about Proud Boys, bro. I'll be honest with you.
Okay, well, the thing is
It's
that
got me f***ed up right now.
What religion we
Because
talking
I don't
about?
want to be.
Muslims.
I don't want to have to have like, oh shit, I did join a hate group. Because
All
if
right,
you
but
hate anybody, it's a hate group.
And I would like to say a story, if you don't mind. When I was in Iraq, some of the best people, like our interpreters, they're Muslim, and I mean, I embrace them I know they will give their life for me, and I know I will fire upon them. And that's one thing we kind of...
Thanks, Gabe.
We got to get away from that, too.
my
We do
cousins-
need to get away with that, dude. That's very unhealthy, and I don't want that to be
I
part of
don't
this.
have a problem but the thing is that I'm not saying all Muslims, but a lot of Muslims do hate Americans because they've been shouting death to America, you know? So I don't know,
extremists.
you know? But look, here's where...
But whenever you get in a situation where you blanket hate a whole group,
Yeah, you can't just...
you're straight up, you're a
if
But
we have
I'm
a
not
supremacist
labeling
in
the
our-
whole group.
No, I'm
know
not
what
talking
saying?
you. I'm saying
But the thing is that, for
Universally
example,
you.
we were talking about in our chat, and somebody that's Muslim being part of us. Again, I don't have a problem with that, but are they going to be okay?
By the way, we do have Muslims, but they don't talk about it because they are f***ing scared. We got like 2 in our group.
And they shouldn't be.
in our chapter here?
Yes.
See, I didn't know
Really?
that.
We do.
And again, I don't care. See,
And they don't voice the shit
But
because they're like,
here's the
"Oh,
way I
yeah."
see it. Here's the way I see it. And I'm going to give you my opinion. You know how I am. The thing is that being a Muslim is you believing in a religion. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the religion that's, you know, it's an Eastern belief, you know? And we're in the West, man. So it doesn't mesh well with our beliefs and our culture down here. You know what I'm saying? Again, I don't have anything against it, but for example, you know, we're pro-Western, you know, and we like to eat pork, bacon, you know, we barbecue and stuff like that. They tend not to be part of that. So if we're at a gathering
story
and stuff
about
like that, we're cooking, you know, how they're going to react towards that. For example, we also do a lot of prayers. You know, we ask, like, when brothers are in trouble, you know, either health, whatever, we pray for our brothers. Will that be something that bothers them when we're talking about, pray for our brothers and stuff? So that's the way I look at things. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and go ahead. He wants to talk.
and I'm sorry.
No,
they
go ahead.
have their own way of praying and showing it. But the thing is, the Muslim culture, the religion itself is not a culture. It's what makes it strange in my eyes, especially a lot of people here, is which I'm completely against. Is like in Afghanistan when you see this old dude marrying a 9-year-old.
I'm totally against that.
I'm totally
against. Now, one thing that I do like about them is that they're able to have multiple wives. I would love that, man. That I like. You know what I'm saying?
What about marrying your cousin?
No, hell no. Definitely not.
Talking
Thank you
about
very
Muslims, I got a cousin that he's married to
Tennessee.
a Turkish girl. She's Muslim, not a practitioner Muslim, but she loves going. They live up here in Palm Beach Gardens. They go to Don Ramon down the street, and she loves the pork chunks. She loves her bacon for breakfast.
And she's a Muslim.
She's a Muslim.
Wow. Okay.
Her parents came over for turkey, and they my cousin, he loves to cook. He did some nice breakfast, scrambled eggs, whatever, ham and bacon. Ham and bacon are pork.
Listen, I know you guys are Cubans and you love what is it called? The pork.
Lechon.
Chicharrón.
Chicharrón or whatever.
We just had some.
But
We
you
just
can't,
had some right now.
You can't hate people because they don't like your chicharrones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, nobody
No,
said
I'm sorry, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Oh,
she
But
loves.
if you apply that same logic, then where would the Jews be? The Jewish people hate pork too. You know?
Yeah.
They don't eat pork. That's a Western.
do we have any Jewish in our
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. See, I don't care. I don't care.
I
what
don't care
religion
either.
you are,
I don't care.
What color
I don't
you
care.
are, where you from. You're a brother. Once you
I
become a
gotta-
Proud Boy,
yeah.
you're my brother. You know what I'm saying?
I got this guy. I'm going to have him on really soon because I want everybody to see him and I want everybody to meet him. All right.
Who?
Wedge, my property manager.
Okay.
He's a Muslim, straight up Muslim.
Okay.
He's a practicing Muslim, and he works with a Jew. The Jewish guy's our landlord, so it's the Jew and the property manager work together all the
Okay.
time. They totally get along.
That's what's up.
And
Yeah.
he's definitely very Muslim. Like does all the prayers and shit. We've been fighting now for like 4 years. He wanted to vote for Bernie. Every time he comes in there, we fight. You know, he's a Democrat. And I'm a whatever conservative, you know. And we're always going back and forth. But and then like about a couple months ago, he came in. He said, "You know what? Fuck this, man. They did it again to Bernie. I'm gonna push the button like I'm blowing something up. That's it. I'm voting for Trump. And I was like, hell yeah, man, I can't believe it. If you're going to vote for Trump, that's crazy. That's mind-blowing. Nice. You're going to vote for Trump. Ever since Trump mentioned our name,
stand back and
he's been looking into Proud Boys. He knows I'm a Proud Boy. And he was like saying, I would like to kind of maybe join a group like this. But I read about what Gavin said.
Okay, I wanted to talk to you about that. Yeah. But you got to understand, Gavin is also a comedian, bro. So you can't take everything that he says to heart. You know what I'm saying?
But some of the stuff he said that 50% of Muslims are products of incest because they are allowed to marry their first cousins. And I asked him, I said, is that true? And he said, yes, it is true. We are allowed to marry our first cousins. I mean, it's up. And then I actually just had a conversation today with somebody who will remain nameless, who's Jewish, who was telling me all about the Jewish people allow you to marry your cousin too. That's nuts.
Wow, I didn't know that, man.
Yeah, did you know that?
No, I just found out.
It's crazy. And I was like, their whole definition of incest is just the child does anything with the parent, or the child does anything with the grandparent, or the child does anything with their sibling or something like that. That's incest. But it has nothing to do with a first cousin. And I'm like, because I have a million cousins. I mean, I do. I have a shitload of cousins. Shitload. I have like 28 cousins on my dad's side, just on my dad's side. All right. And then a million on my mom's side too. And then we have cousins in Italy and shit like that. Mm-hmm. But if anybody even like suspects your family, no way. Goodbye. I don't give you a second cousin, whatever, third cousin. They don't. However, it does happen. It does happen in Italy sometimes.
It does in my family.
But you say in Italy, supposedly, I, back in the day, I don't know if it still exists, but like in the southern states, apparently, Americans used to do the same thing. They would marry their cousins
in small towns.
Small towns and stuff like that,
Like
so we can't really judge people because of that.
Supposedly,
honestly, me personally, I don't give a crap.
My grandparents are
as long as you're not hurting me.
Huh?
My grandparents are third cousins.
The third cousins.
That's
probably that's enough farther down the line, though. Yeah. That's down the line, man. That's
still, supposedly you're still related if you're third cousins.
And it does happen. That kind of thing does happen in Italy and stuff also, actually.
And it was back in Cuba.
On a lot of the islands.
See, that was back in Cuba, he said.
Yeah. But, all right, so, like, your position, you guys' position on that?
I don't keep
That's incest, right, though?
Well.
I mean, I think it is.
Bro, listen, at this point.
The first cousin. I'm talking about first cousin.
First cousin, yeah. It does incest. Because my first cousins and me were like brothers.
Absolutely.
My little brothers. Like right now, I had one of my first cousins. He lives up in Orlando. He had a little tumor in his duodenum. And I was worried about him the whole freaking week. Calling his wife, calling every day, calling her. And hey, how Jose is doing, blah, blah, blah. And my cousins from Palm Beach went up there. I'm gonna try to go this weekend up there to see him. That he's out of the hospital. He's very good, doing better. So we're gonna try to go see him. But it's like I see Jose and most of my first cousins as little brothers.
Me too.
And even I have a second cousin that he's another brother that I have. He's only like 9 months younger than me. And I go down to Puerto Rico. He's like the first 2 phone calls I make when I'm down there. He's like, hey, where are we gonna go drink? Let's go get some drinks. And I go drinking with him. We go partying. We go fishing. We do everything. Like,
apparently in the Bible, I don't know where it is, but apparently in the Bible it says this, that whatever with your cousin is not incest. I don't know exactly where it is or whatever, but that's what this Jewish person told me. And
like I said, man, I don't care.
And then they brought up like the Adam and Eve thing, like how would they populate the earth if that wasn't?
No.
So it's kind of crazy, right?
It is.
I don't know.
It is.
Not to get off on too much of a tangent and stuff.
I'm more worried, getting back to subject here about Muslims, is when they try to push Sharia law. Yes, absolutely. And not only that, let's say a woman walking down the street gets raped. Why does she have to be stoned to death? It's not her fault. She said, let me go get raped today.
So I brought that up.
Or throwing gays out of buildings.
I brought that up with Wedge too. And Wedge said that, that Sharia law thing, he said that's BS. We don't want to do that. We don't want to bring that everywhere. And he said that in Tunisia, he lives in Tunisia. He said, have you ever been to Tunisia? Tunisia, like, you don't, like, the face coverings, you can do it. Like it'd be like a Jewish person wearing, the hat or whatever if they choose to. But a lot of people don't. That same thing. Some people walk around with it not covered. It's something that they choose to do.
Well, it depends where you're at. Depends. It depends on the Middle East.
It depends on where
you
where
go to
you
Dubai
are.
and you could have a great time, but you go to Afghanistan or Iraq or Syria or Lebanon, you're not having that great time.
Have you seen pictures of Iran before the Islamic Revolution? It was like any other Western country.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yep.
In the 60s and
girls
stuff.
in short skirts.
That's
everybody
right.
without forgot the name of it. The thingy.
Bacala.
Whatever he said.
So that all became like that after
the
some
Islamic
Ayatollah
Revolution,
dude or whatever.
in the
took over.
70s, 75, 70 something was that? It came after that.
Wow, they were probably kind of subject to the same thing that like Cubans and Venezuelans are subject to.
Yeah.
You come in, change the Constitution. I mean, now you're not dealing with the Constitution a lot of times. You're dealing with the Quran.
Yeah.
But they're more radical.
But like maybe a new interpretation of it, and then boom.
Yeah.
Turkey was going in the same way now with Erdogan, but the other countries around him stop it because Erdogan is a conservative Muslim. And that's why they had the protests back in the 2000 when all the April Revolution happened. That Egypt fell, this guy Syria fell. They were going after Erdogan too. But the thing is that if they took down Erdogan, it would have been worse because Erdogan is a conservative Muslim, but the ones that who have taken over were the ISIS people. And those people they're really extremist Muslims. These are the bad ones. Like everything, extremism is bad everywhere. Left or right or Catholic extremism. We got the.
That's what I feel.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what you are. If you're extremist, whatever religion you believe, it's up. Probably.
Religion or ideology.
Yes.
Like for example, there's this church. I forgot the name.
Would you say like the Democrats right now? Their ideology is completely extreme.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's something because
they're unable to work with us. They want to have a re-education after they win. They want to send the president, indict the president, and send him to jail afterwards.
If you see that, it's not Joe Biden that's doing that. It's the people writing their platform. His platform that's doing that. Like Bernie Sanders is writing a platform for Joe Biden, and Bernie Sanders is a communist. He's an extremist communist.
But why don't they want him in? Why do they always take him out?
The Democrats do.
Why do they do that though?
Yeah,
because not all the Democrats want him in.
They know that Bernie doesn't get the votes from the independents. Joe Biden can pull the votes out of the independents because they see
steps, like we were talking about.
They see Joe Biden as a in the middle guy. Like he's not to the right, he's not to the left. He's in the center. A moderate Democrat.
What do you think about Hunter Biden and all this going on with his laptop, man?
He's a POS.
Yeah, I mean, if it's true that he was raping small children,
he was.
I said if it's true.
I didn't hear about that.
Supposedly there's video of it, But then again, I don't know if it's just a smear job. Well, one thing's for sure, they're corrupt. Because we already have the information from the Ukraine dealing.
Russian.
How does he become part of a board in Ukraine when he doesn't speak Ukraine? Never done anything with energy, and stuff like that, And his interview in ABC pretty much gave it away, He exposed himself. But man, if this thing about him raping small children is true and the FBI covered it up, that's some BS, man,
And Trump was like impeached because he said to look into them.
Exactly, So that's why these Democrats are out of hand. We need
kind of goes
to
back to what I was
the Democrats.
I was talking about this, like that's why when I was talking about when I went into the liberal thing, like that's what got me loving Trump. That's what made me become a Proud Boy, the resistance movement thing. Because I was so like, what? This has never been done in a country ever. Like whoever becomes president, everybody shuts up and they usually go along with the flow.
A little bit, real quick. I've been involved in politics all my life because my dad, rest in peace, he was a political prisoner, came here and he was always involved in local politics. We even had when Bob Dole ran for president, he had him in my city of Hialeah, for an event. So we were always involved in politics. I grew up in this. And I got away from it when I started creating my family with work and stuff like that. But and I supported Trump. I voted for him. I didn't campaign for him or anything like that. I went to one rally before the election. and I saw him in person, and I was already decided. I wanted to vote for him back in 2012 because I thought it was a good idea that a CEO, a businessman, would run the country because the country needs to be run like a business, you know? So anyway, fast forward, he wins the election, yada, yada. I go about my life. And then I see that after the election, he's continually being attacked by the Democrats. And I'm saying, you know, I'm used to politics. Once the election's over, it's over. You guys work together. Democrats and Republicans work together. I mean, I even worked in Tallahassee when I was young for a state rep. I was his assistant. And I saw how the Democrats and the Republicans work together to pass bills up in Tallahassee. You know, so that's how I've always envisioned politics. But then again, after Trump's election, he was still being attacked by the Democrats. I was like, what the hell's going on? Something's up here. And then when I saw the Republicans, the Rhino Republicans, the Bob Corkers, the Jeff Frakes, the other ones that I can't remember their names because thank God they're gone already, you know, attacking him. I saw, man, there's something here, you know. This guy is the man, you know. And man, sure enough, he has been able to weed out all those bad Republicans. Not all of them, because we still got bad rhinos, but he's gotten rid of a lot of those guys. And that's what made me get more involved in this, because I saw that he was being attacked after the election, and I knew he was going to expose the stuff that has come out. You know, stuff that a lot of us already knew, because what got Trump elected is the silent majority. The people that, you know, saw what was happening to our country and how our country was being destroyed. Like I mentioned earlier, when you start pulling at the Constitution, start taking these statutes, start changing these names, start forbidding Merry Christmas. You know, they had forbidden, you know, not technically, but you weren't allowed to say Merry Christmas under the Obama administration, you know, and stuff
Happy
like
holidays.
You know, they took away God away from our school system. You know, that wasn't done under Obama, but it's still, Obama was part of the process. You know, the Bushes, the Clintons, the Obama, they're all corrupt. They're all part of the same thing. You know, they're all part of the same clique. The last best president that this country had was Ronald Reagan. Till President Trump became president. I think President Trump is the best president that I've ever seen in my 46 years.
Yeah, like you were saying, it's that's true. That's what they are doing. They're trying to rip out this country and do a new socialist United States of America.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what the Democrats want. They have that Democrat socialist of America. You know? So
what was it that got you involved? Like actually, I would love to talk to you more about your experience, you know, in the military. What military branch were you in?
I was in the Army.
Yeah.
And I got to go to University of Florida, paid for by the Army. And
nice. I graduated from the University of Florida also.
Oh, really?
Hell
Nice.
yeah, bro.
Yeah, go Gators, then.
Go Gators.
Go Gators.
That's right. Gainesville. Good times.
Yeah. And you stayed for 15 years?
15 years. Yes, sir. I loved it. And like I said, if I had to do it all over again, I would go ahead and do it all over again.
And you recently just got into politics too.
I ran for District 116. It was actually down in Miami, Westchester area. One of the most expensive campaigns for state rep in the history of Florida. From what I was
yours?
told. Yes.
Really?
Definitely. And during COVID, I threw my name out, and I have the man here that helped me out. Definitely went knocking door to door. The guy's a beast. And
he did?
He definitely helped out a lot. And the reason I ran, because the other guy was a Republican. So it was 2 Republicans. But there's a reason why.
What?
Here's the situation with that. He went to Cuba, not to visit family. Understand, you know, obviously I have parents. If your mother's dying or something and you have them in Cuba, okay, I got that. But he went parading around like the tourist area just to blow money on him and his fiance at the time to take their wedding pictures out there. And that's what he did. And that didn't sit too well with me and also a lot in the community. But at the end of the day, he ended up winning. And by the way, he's selected to be the future Speaker of the House. That's who I went against. Yeah.
That's what bothered me also.
That's
not only what he just mentioned, but that he's going to be the future Speaker of the House.
A lot of power.
And I don't think somebody like that should be a Speaker of the House because, number one, you went to a communist country and dumped money in that communist country. You know that where my family lost their country, you know? And not only that, he also has a state representative. He already voted when we were talking about earlier about amending the Second Amendment and modifying it and stuff like that. He voted in favor of that, you know? So somebody like that is not a true Republican. I call him a rhino, you know? So that's why, not only did I campaign for him because he's my brother and I want him to win, obviously, but that was my stick, man. When I would knock on doors, I would say, look, this guy went to a communist country, you know, spend money there, you know, and thinks that it's okay. And he also voted to modify our Second Amendment. And now we're going to give him the power to become the future Speaker of the House. we got to get this guy out of here.
And were you speaking Spanish a lot of times when you're knocking doors?
Yeah, Spanish
Yes,
and English. It's
Hit or miss.
his district. He had a huge district that he ran in. It covered all the way from Doral to South Kendall. I know those that are not from Miami won't picture, but it was a pretty big district, and it ran from east to west, pretty big. So you came across a lot of people because I knocked, like he said, on, I think, like 3,000 doors, maybe,
Yeah.
And I knocked on people that were American, people that were Cuban.
They're all American.
Well, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Some idiotic blonde
They only speak English. I don't even know what the hell to label it, They only spoke English, and all different types of Latin cultures, And yeah, man.
That's too bad, man. I was looking forward to you winning.
Yeah, and then I had also
Yeah.
the current Speaker of the House that's Republican. He was backing me up. And that was something when your own people in the House are not backing up, somebody already there, especially selected to be future Speaker of the House. That tells you about that character right there. And one of the reasons I ran was just mainly for that. Because like I said, we're both Republicans. We think pretty much alike when we debated. And another thing that they didn't like too much was once the garbage Miami Herald found out I was a Proud Boy. See, they tried to
Thank God they found out after the election.
And that's what I was going to say. They found out after elections. The whole thing, once Trump made that thing, I got calls from the New Times, the Herald, because they already knew I ran and they already had my number. They found out, I guess, I was a Proud Boy. And they asked me, how does it feel, being part of a racist organization? I said, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to correct you on that. Let me say what my last name is. Do you know who you're speaking with? They're like, yeah, Gabe Garcia. You ran for District 116. I go, yeah. The last name Garcia, where do you think that comes from? Well, it sounds like Spaniard origin. I'm like, well, that's right. And by the way, I served in the military, and guess what? I'll lay down my life for any other brother in combat. Doesn't matter their color.
They said Spain origin in order to try to say white.
To say white, exactly. But at the end of the day, like I said, I don't see myself as white. I'm American, and I try to explain to them, we're not a racist organization. We're not out there, we have all kinds of people in our organization. Like you said, we have Jews. I even mentioned Gilbert, Puerto Rican, gay. Adolfo barely speaks English. We need
not this Gilbert, though.
Not this Gilbert. He's single, lady. So if you want to, go ahead. And
it's very hard. Also being single and being
a
Trump supporter, man. Because on those dating apps, you can stroll through them and they say
swipe left if you support Trump.
This is the first guy to get kicked out of Tinder, by the way.
Yeah,
just want to point that out.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, for being
that's how much we're censored.
Yeah. I got back in, but they kicked me out when I put a Proud Boy shirt and stuff like that. So I opened up another account. I don't give a shit. I put Proud Boy.
That's a whole different thing. Censorship. We always getting censored. I mean, anything.
I have no social media. I've been censored on all social media. I only have a parlor.
I got kicked out of Facebook and Instagram last week.
Good. I mean, that's
doing
good.
something
I'm
right.
glad.
Why are you glad that we got kicked out?
Well,
I was one of the first ones.
Honestly, if you haven't been kicked off Facebook and Instagram, it means
you ain't doing something right.
What the are you doing? I mean, and I'm sorry for cursing through this whole thing.
No, it's your show, not ours.
I gotta tell you, I like having social media because I had a lot of friends there that we went to school together, and besides our political views,
join the club.
Yeah,
I lost all the pictures of my kids.
I lost a lot of
all my pictures of my kids growing up. That I didn't have it nowhere else. Because you change phones throughout the years, but you store it in your Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. Look, I was
people who have died.
Exactly.
My father passed away. Got Piazza passed away. Yeah. All those pictures.
Yeah, we've lost all that.
I have pictures there of my grandparents that they both passed away. I have pictures of my uncle that passed away. I have pictures of my grandpa's sister that passed away. I got pictures of family.
Everything.
So the trick is start saving it if you still want.
I lost them. Why? Because Facebook doesn't like my
Now, are these guys, do you think that these guys are even gonna survive?
Who?
All these social media platforms, they're showing their bias. They're going out of control now with the Hunter Biden thing.
This is war, man. This is war. Did I lift it?
This is straight up.
We're in a civil war,
your people came from. We are going through the same shit.
Exactly.
And I never thought I would see this in America.
Exactly. That's the problem. And I tell people all the time, because when I tell them this country's on the verge of becoming a communist country, that's not ever going to happen. And I say, really? If what's happening today, they would have told you 20 years ago, what would you have said? That's never going to happen here. And guess what? It's happening here. So that stupid mentality, that's not going to happen here. It is going to happen here if we don't stop it. We got to stand up and fight. And there's a lot of people that say, I'm not even going to go vote because Trump's going to win. Oh, he won last time without my vote. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry to cut you off, but even if he wins, are you still silenced on Facebook? Because he's still in office, so
yeah,
we're
still going to be silenced.
And not only that, for example, I'll give you an example. I went to see Biden the other day with Adolfo here. We got told to turn our shirts inside out. I'm sorry. That's not correct. We saw Biden too, and we told them a couple of things, but that's a different story.
But they went to a Mike Pence event with these
Proud
two.
Boy, had to take it off.
And they made them take off. Well, one of our brothers, Alex G, they made him take off his Proud Boy hat.
And I have my shirt.
The thing is that he had his hat like this when he walked in, so they saw the Proud Boys. If he would have walked in, like this, probably he would have gotten by. But these two had the Trump shirts.
That's another problem that we're having now because
I was wearing your Trump because fuck you twice.
Yeah,
shirt.
that's what I was
they
wearing.
were both wearing.
We were both wearing.
Parenzo.com, you can get it there. So I was wearing that shirt and they made me turn it inside out because it said fuck very small in the
okay, I mean that's the Proud Boy thing is what I'm talking about. Like, so I just did an interview with the Godfather guy. You know who I'm talking about, bikers guy.
The 45.
Yeah.
And so he was in here, and I was like, why haven't you ordered shirts recently? He's like, to be honest with you, the other guy who is involved knows you're a Proud Boy, and they don't want to associate with you now. So that's why we're not going to print with you. And I'm like, if you guys aren't backing me up, what the f? And they're posting some stuff in the, I told you guys, Palm Beach Post. And now I'm getting all kinds of hate and stuff like that. They're on there giving me 1-star reviews and stuff. I mean, I expect that from the other side, but the right side that you're supposed to be on, those guys aren't going to back you up now because you're a Proud Boy.
Yeah, because here's the problem though. We have rhino Republicans that are against us, like the Tim Scotts of the world, Lindsey Graham, Marco Rubio. They're the ones that really forced President Trump to say what he did a couple of weeks ago, that he condemned the Proud Boys, but I don't know much about them. That was all politics. He was forced to do that, because of these rhinos. Go ahead, Adolfo.
Back in December, when Enrique was gonna run for office for Congress, he was gonna go to the Republican Executive Committee of Miami Christmas dinner, and they called the cops on him and they told him to go away.
They kicked him out.
Because they kicked him out.
A candidate running for office for the Republican ticket, they kicked him out because he's a Proud Boy.
Yep.
And another thing is that the way I see what Trump did like a couple of weeks ago about the Proud Boys, when he condemned the Proud Boys.
I hated that. It was like a gut punch.
Yes.
I get it. I hate
it was.
Because
Stand Back, Stand By was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stand Back, Stand By. Oh my God. I was the goosebumps.
Did you see the Saturday Night Live where Stand Back, Stand By? I don't know who you're talking about.
Stand Back.
No, I did not.
Yeah.
That's with Bill Burr. Bill Burr did that?
He did
shit.
He's like, I do not know who you're talking about.
did it as a Trump, Trump character.
He's like,
he goes, I don't know how to signal them, and he goes like
how to
this.
signal the bat signal for us.
The way I see it, I love comic books, movies. I'm a fan of the Batman. If you guys remember the Dark Knight movie, when Batman at the end, and the scene that Batman is talking to Commissioner Gordon, and Scarface is dead in the ground, and he goes like, Commissioner Gordon goes to Batman. Two-Face is dead on the ground, and he goes like, so how we show him to Gotham, the good face or the bad face? And Batman goes on, let's show him the good face. Yeah. Bring the shit to me. Mostly that's what he said, bring the shit to me. So Batman stays at the Dark Knight, and Two-Face became the White Knight because he was the White Knight. He was breaking down all the mafia in Gotham, all this other stuff. So he stayed. I see Trump tried to stay as the good guy. He puts the Proud Boys on a bad side, but we're still the good guys because, hey, we were at the caravan on Sunday, and everybody was like, "Oh, the Proud Boys! Oh, I want to take a picture with the Proud Boys."
Recruiting has gone up,
and it was really, really great. The support we had at the caravan down in Miami was amazing. Yeah. Like everywhere, sometimes we're at our usual spotting place in Miami. And people come to us like, hey, a round of beer for you guys, or your tap is on me. And it's people support us. They know what we are. what we support, and where we are at.
They thank us. Like Sunday, like he was saying, people would thank you guys. Thank you for what you guys are doing. Could we get a picture with you guys? And it's like that. And everywhere we go, you know, because we were out there on Thursday at the Trump Town Hall as well. And people were thanking us. As soon as we walk up, you know, they're thanking us. They know who we are, you know, and they
And that's
appreciate
only
us,
local
you know?
in Miami.
Yes.
The weekend before, we had Amfest down in Miami. You were there with Peter Parker. Peter Parker. So
Doesn't matter. Both Asians start with a P.
yeah,
Fuck 'em.
they all look the same. I was walking with Enrique at some point in one of the areas of the Trump Hotel in Miami.
I
And
gave him that idea for American Supremacists, by the way.
that was a great shirt.
Where's my shirt, man?
I did, and he didn't even bring it up. But then I thought back about it because I saw the shirt, and then I didn't really realize it. But then I thought back, I was like, wait a second. I went on this rant, and I was like, why did he condemn us? Why didn't he just say, you know, I'm not a white supremacist, not a black supremacist, I'm not an Asian supremacist, I'm an American supremacist? I remember I said that to him. I haven't even told him, though. I remember.
When did he come up with stand back, stand by shirt?
The same day.
The same day it happened?
Yeah.
He had him.
Well, no, but I didn't. But no, everybody. I mean, we all rob each other, so you know it's all good. But that's somebody else. Somebody
But
else
it's in
did
the
that.
family.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. That was on the
Yeah, it's
main.
in the
the main-
PV
That was on the
family.
main Proud Boy
Yeah.
page or whatever.
I love it.
So
And also the "fuck you twice." That's Enrique's shirt. I stole that from him.
Okay.
but he allowed me to.
Yeah.
it's all good. We allow each other.
Yeah, we're all
you know.
family, man.
We allow each
Yeah,
other to
it's a
steal
big
from others.
family. We love each other.
Yeah.
Capitalism. Gotta
Yeah.
compete
So
with each
Exactly.
other.
I was walking with him, and people were coming to him. Oh, Enrique from the Proud Boys! Enrique from the Proud Boys! And even I was wearing a Proud Boy hat, and people were, "Oh, you're a Proud Boy? Yeah, I'm a Proud Boy." And we support you guys. We support you guys. We know what you guys do. Blah blah blah. We support you. So you feel appreciated by all that stuff, all the kindness of the people, the public. That is really good. It feels good at the end of the day.
But don't you think that, like, okay, you know, they always say Trump lies, and that was definitely a f***ing lie, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it? He knows who the Proud Boys are.
You know,
I mean, I haven't really like seen him lie, but I know in that circumstance that was a lie.
Hey, listen, it's all political, man, because look, everybody knows who we are, man. You know what I'm saying? But now,
But what does that make you feel, though? You know that's a lie.
it bothered me.
It
It
was like
bothered
a
me. But
punch in the gut. That's
I
how I
also
felt.
understand politics, and I understand he had to do what he had to do. He's
Wouldn't
up
it
for
have been
election.
easier
You know?
just to say, "Oh, Proud Boys"?
They're an
well,
idea.
they're not. Those guys aren't racist.
Yeah.
Why do you just say that?
Again, because I
He
think
wants
he
to-
was pressured by Tim Scott, Marco Rubio, Lindsey Graham. Also, Sean Hannity didn't help because Michelle Malcolm, she said it on one of her posts. She said, because she knows us, she always defends us. She said, I bet you anything Sean Hannity pushed Trump to say that, you know? So, yeah, man, you know. And maybe, you know what, we got to give Trump the benefit of the doubt. Maybe
It
he
makes
truly
me-
doesn't really know who we are. You know, he only knows what we're told, what's told to him, you know? And remember, Trump has rhinos and people that are not really looking for his interests around him still, you know what I'm saying? So we don't know what type of information he's getting. But Donald Trump Jr. knows who we are. He knows who Enrique is, because when Enrique was running for office, he told him we're going to win that seat, you know? But unfortunately, we know what happened. Enrique had to unfortunately drop out of the race because all the doors were closed, you know, and we couldn't raise donations. But a lot of people know who we are, man. A lot of people defend us.
Yeah.
You know, so
But his answer and the way it was, it almost makes me feel like maybe he thinks that he does have white supremacists who are behind him, and he doesn't want to offend them or something like that. Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah, well,
Like maybe he really thinks that we are.
I don't think that he thinks that we are white supremacists, but I think that there's
Or he maybe thinks that there are people that actually maybe harbor that, and they're his supporters, and he doesn't want to turn them off.
yeah, that can be because you know he's a politician. He's gonna get support from white supremacists, black supremacists, Asian supremacists, whatever, Muslim supremacists. So he likes to play it.
but you know what? What the hell is white supremacists, man? Because if you look at the numbers, the white population has gone down in this country. Last time I had checked a couple of years ago, the numbers were going up. Where I believe the Latino
Yeah,
were
or most.
above.
There's going to be
the
more
white American.
Latinos at some point. I forgot what year. Latinos overtake.
Yeah,
Actually, Bobby's Latino.
Yeah,
Italian comes
it
from.
was the Latins. The Latins.
yeah. So
were
that's
the
what I'm
ones
saying.
who,
So where's the white supremacy?
founded
So
Italy.
you are Latinx.
The Latins.
You are Latinx.
Oh, Latinx.
Yeah. So I listen, man. I don't believe in that white supremacists. And then if it is white supremacists and we get rid of it, then what are we going to have? Brown supremacists? Black supremacists? I don't want neither one.
No, you're gonna have
How about American supremacists, like you said? We're
Patriots.
Americans, you know?
Yeah.
America
supremacists. First.
You know, exactly.
But even that though, like Enrique was on with Tim Pool, and then Tim Pool kinda was like, okay, so what's the opposite of American supremacy? He's like West. He's like, so Eastern is not good? Kind of like pose that question. So what's the opposite of American supremacy? Because American supremacy is like Western supremacy. It's kind of loving the West. So what are you saying? Like, you don't like the East?
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I can't speak for the East because I've never been to the East. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But supposedly this is the best country in the world, as far as I know, because everybody wants to come here. I mean, you have people for example, from where my family's from Cuba, that they swim across 90 miles in that shark-infested waters to get to freedom. You know what I'm saying? You had the Haitians doing the same thing a couple of years ago till they closed that off. You got people that sneak in through the southern border from all different types of countries, China, the Middle East, all that. So this apparently has to be the greatest country in the world. You know what I'm saying? So why change it? Are we perfect? Like I said earlier, no. But it's the best thing we got, man. There's nothing better, And I don't want to change it. I want it to be left the way our founding fathers created this country, So
yeah, there's got to be a little change, though. I mean, there's a little.
Well, there's things that could be
little
adjusted,
evolution as you go.
Yeah,
but
slavery gets abolished.
Yeah, of course.
Things like
but
that.
that's already been abolished. We don't have slavery here no more.
I know, but we went through all those changes.
Yeah. I'm saying where it's
things
at
do
now.
have to change. I think there was like somebody was saying this too. I think this was also Tim Pool. He was talking about how like on that just look at the political scale, conservative people move a little bit right over time, but like liberals move all the way to the left. They are so drastic in how they move. They move way left.
There's something wrong with them, man. It's just the way you see it in their face, their eyes, the hatred,
it's true.
the anger.
They carry it on their face.
Yes.
That is absolutely true.
I could vouch for that. Yesterday, I told him yesterday over here, Adolfo, when we went to one of the voting places, I'm like, I bet you if you give me $100, I could pick out every single person here who the liberal is. You could just tell by the face.
Yes.
It's so true.
You could just
how they carry themselves.
How they carry themselves.
Because a lot of times they're like a loser. They're kind of like a loser in life.
Yes.
Not to be a jerk, but they are.
No, listen, like I say, for example, if you're a Cuban and you're a Democrat, you're not a real Cuban, man. And if you're a Democrat of today, you're a freaking loser. There's something wrong with you, because how could you be for the policies that the Democrats are pushing? Their policies is to completely destroy this country. Everything that they want, that new Green Deal, the open borders, defund the police, free health care for everybody, free schooling.
It's not free.
Like, come on, man.
That's
the same thing that Fidel did in Cuba. He gave everybody, free college, free health care. Look how well that turned out.
Which Bernie Sanders agree with.
So,
does it suck? Why do you always hear that healthcare is good?
No, I got a friend of the family that she had a breast cancer surgery a couple of years ago. They escaped Cuba. She's now living here in Miami. And we had to send her from the sutures for her surgery, her antibiotics, gauze, almost even the freaking viscery for doing the surgery. We had to send them from Puerto Rico to them, because they didn't have that in Cuba. Of course, for the people that live down there, hospitals, because there's hospital for Cubans and there's hospital for visitors. That's why people like Michael Moore, for example, they did that psycho documentary, and he went to Cuba with these 9/11 policemen and firefighters that were sick for 9/11, and they went down there to try the healthcare in Cuba. And yeah, of course, they went to a hospital that's for only foreigners, not for Cubans. So they got the best of the medicine down there in Cuba. But it's like the common Cuban cannot go to the hospital. You see a common Cuban hospital, it sucks. It's a piece of crap. I wouldn't even go there for a cut in a finger. One of those paper cuts, it will get infected if I touch one of those hospitals for the common Cubans.
Back to these Democrats, though, and how they look like retarded and stuff. I've been thinking about this. What kind of person gets so turned off by Trump? Gets so turned off by this person who's strong, powerful, has, you know, like they're reminded of their boss or something like that.
The problem
what is it? Are they reminded of their boss and they're triggered?
Look, I heard Rush Limbaugh talk about this a couple of weeks ago, and he said that years ago somebody reached out to him and told him that liberal women despised him because he was so confident about himself, you know, and that's what they dislike. Liberal women, liberals, they dislike strong people that are confident about themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Real women love, like, especially the Proud Boys.
Real women are conservative.
Male energy. I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
I love that. You know, I love the male energy. I love how you guys are like trying to bring that back and stuff. And they think that that's the sexiest thing ever.
Yeah,
you know,
those women. But then you have the liberal women that, you know, don't not like that. They despise us.
Yeah,
you know, and they want the soy boys. You know,
they want to dominate.
You know,
they want to dominate you in the relationship and stuff.
Exactly.
Like, you seen that new documentary about the guy who killed his wife?
No.
And his families.
Oh, I saw it.
What did you say? She was pretty dominant. She kind of deserved it in a sick way.
Oh man!
Come on, man! Let's act like it's all closed doors and we're not recording ourselves for the world.
You're talking about the
she was
Netflix,
kind of annoying.
You're talking about the Netflix one that he killed the wife and the 2 daughters.
Yeah, I'm totally against the daughters being slain. 100%. That was sick.
I don't know,
but she drove him insane, dude. With just,
I know that she was kind of
she's a bitch.
She was kind of bitchy, a ham. But come on, I prefer to pay a divorce.
Of course.
But here's the problem.
Making a point, though, about these super aggressive women, these super aggressive dominant women who want to dominate men and don't want you to be a male, and they get disgusted by confidence, by a man making money and taking care of shit.
Yeah, they have driven an agenda in this country and around the world to bring down the man, you know, to be able to elevate the woman, you know, and that has completely turned into where women just think that they're, you know, overpowering, that they could overpower a man and that they're superior to men. And this is what this has turned into, you know. And it's not back in the days like when I was young, you know, my parents, my grandparents, this and that. It was a different culture, you know. You respected the man because the man was the head of the household. He would go out and work and do his thing, you know. And you respected your man. You treated your man like a king, you know. And that has changed the last decades or whatever it is, however when it started here with, you know, women treating the man like, you know, like crap. And that they're superior than the man, you know? And I don't believe in that. I think it should be equal, but if anything, the man should be respected more because the man, that's how the world was created. You know, you have your man and you have your woman, and the woman stands by their man.
Nobody wants to put women down. I don't want to put women down.
I don't want to put women down, but I don't want the man to be put down either.
I want a relationship that's normal. I want a normal relationship where the dude is the breadwinner and the woman takes care of stuff at the house and stuff. Exactly. I'm sorry, I don't care what that makes me look like.
No,
that's what I want.
That's what I'm for, you know? Mm-hmm. So, go ahead.
No, I just want to say I'm glad you guys brought that up because that's another thing that was brought up in my interview. They're like, aren't you guys sexist against women, you know? And I told them, no, we believe if the woman wants to be at home and raise their kids and let the husband be the breadwinner, we're okay with that. And yeah, I agree in equality for women. I'm not saying we're superior to any women or anything like that by any means. So when we say, you know, about the women being able to be staying at home, that shouldn't be seen by a negative thing because it happens. Liberal women like, oh, you're a homemaker? Is that what you are? Or you stay at home?
That's the problem. Like you said, liberal women.
But then they end up with no kids and cats.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Because I guarantee you, and I might be wrong, and you know, and again, nobody, it's my opinion, but I believe that there's a lot of conservative women that would rather stay home and raise their kids instead of sending them so young to a daycare or to school, but unfortunately they can't because, you know, we live in a society that we need 2 incomes if you have a family. So, you know, the woman
I wish the government gave us a little bit of money for that so that the woman could stay home and be venerated housewife.
Exactly, you know, but
why the government will have to give us money for that?
I'm just saying, I know.
That's the liberal side.
That would be a nice...
That's a liberal side of Bobby speaking.
It's coming out.
Listen, great talk. We went over an hour, right? Sweet.
About to get some
We're getting hungry and we want to get some cafecito and some pork. Some chicharrones, right?
Whatever, man. Whatever. Let's go get some food.
Let's go get some food.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
What's the last thing you want to say? Anything else?
Trump 2020.
Trump 2020.
Yeah.
Trump 2020.
We got to get Trump reelected if not we're going to lose our country, you know?
Absolutely.
So,
all right. In unison, proud of your boy.
Proud of your boy. Uhuru.
Uhuru.
Bobby Pickles Podcast. He always said That's me. With that look on his face, he'll talk about anything.
Outstanding.
Tattoos, t-shirts, politics, history, and hot sauce on everything. Bobby Pickles. Pop culture, documentaries, conspiracy theories, sarcasm, and fear. It's a conversation, start listening, cause we're all here. Bobby Pickles Podcast. That's me.
Bobby Pepinillo.
Bobby Pickle.
It's me.
It's me, just
Bobby
Bobby.
Pepino. Bienvenido a este su podcast de Bobby Pepinillo.
Yeah, there we go. There, got it.